Hello, my friends. Thank you so much for coming back. For those of you who tuned in last time, hopefully I've fixed the microphone problems by now. And it kind of leads into today's topic, which is being good enough. This is one of my favorite things to talk about. I'll probably talk about it again later, but today I want to talk about it for a little bit. So there's this concept in parenting called good enough parenting. And it comes from Dr. Donald Winnicott back in the last century, which is the century I was born in, which makes me feel kind of old. But anyway, essentially what he was saying was that there's such a thing as the good enough mother, and that children do not need, and actually they don't, they really, it's not the best thing ever to have a perfect mom. That actually what kids need is someone who's good enough, right? And he only talked about moms because it was the last century and well, everybody was sexist back then. So it was only for moms, but really it applies to all parents. And what it means is that you don't have to be perfect. And in fact, not only do you not have to not be perfect, you kind of have to be not perfect. That was very imperfectly said. Oh, doesn't that fold well into the topic? Anyway, when children don't have every single need met immediately and perfectly every single time, what happens is over time they build up resilience. They build up what Angela Duckworth would call grit, right? So long as the main caregiver is trying, right? You love this kid. You love them like crazy. You're doing the best you can with what you have. And you're trying. And sometimes we get it, and sometimes we don't. And when we don't, we try again. I cannot stress enough how important this is, because I feel like a lot of the messaging that goes out, especially for young parents right now, is that you've got to be perfect. You can never yell at your kid. You can never say the wrong thing. You're not allowed to have a boyfriend. You can't go out. You can't, the list of things you can't do is really long. But here's the thing. Your kid doesn't need you to be perfect, right? Your kid needs you to be imperfect because your kid cannot be perfect because perfect doesn't exist. That's the main point of all of this. Perfect really just doesn't exist, right? And when we model to our kids, and where I live, right now I'm living in Silicon Valley. So I'm surrounded every day by people who are really smart, like really, really smart people. They're brilliant. And they're under so much stress and so much pressure that they put on themselves, that's put on them from their companies, sometimes put on them from spouses or peers. And the kids in this area, they soak up all of this insistence, all of this misguided determination that if you are not perfect, and not even perfect, if you're not better than perfect, like there are kids who fall into deep depressions around here because their GPA is not over 4.0, right? That's the level of pressure we're talking about. It's not even just perfect. It's better than perfect. It's uber perfect. It's super perfect, right? No, quit it. Stop. Everybody settle down. You can just be, right? You can be who you are. You can have bad days. You can have bad moments. I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Sometimes you're going to yell at your kids. I'm not advocating it's the greatest thing ever to do. I am saying that not if, but when you yell at your kids or your spouse or your friend, it's actually not all bad. There's this fantastic opportunity that arises, and that opportunity has everything to do with what we call repair. Repair is when you break something and you fix it. So when you yell at your kids, you kind of broke the relationship a little bit, maybe a lot, depending on how much you yelled or what you said. But you have this fantastic opportunity to go back in and mend that fence, to mend that relationship. And when you do that, what you're doing really on a deeper level is you're teaching your kid how to do that, how to admit you're wrong, how to apologize, how to repair. It's not just, I'm sorry, right? I don't accept that. I'm sorry at my house doesn't go very far. If you feel sorry, yeah, absolutely say it. But I've had times when the kids, especially with each other, they didn't feel sorry. Right? And I knew they didn't feel sorry. And that's okay. I don't say I won't care, but it is not as important to me that you feel sorry as it is important to me that you recognize you have hurt someone else. You have damaged a relationship, and you're going to take steps to fix that damage. So when the kids were little and it was the two of them going at it, it might be, my son knew to bring my daughter her special blankie. My daughter knew to bring a pink monkey to my son when she had done something that upset him. Now the kids are older. They know each other really well. They know how to irritate each other really, really well. But they also have learned how to say when they're wrong and reach out and try and fix things. And a big part of that, I think, is because I made so many mistakes along the way. Yay! They got to see me over and over again do an imperfect job of parenting. Stop, reflect, check in with them, see how they were doing, and then figure out how to fix it, right? And this will continue. I hope for many, many years. I hope that I make lots and lots more mistakes. One of my deepest wishes is that I am around to make these mistakes with my grandkids one day, right? But I wanted to bring this up because I really get this message a lot, especially from younger parents, that they feel so much pressure that they have to do it right. And I really just want to tell you, you're good enough. So long as you root everything you do in love. Love for your kids, love for your spouse, and love for yourself. It's going to be okay. All right, that's all for today. Hopefully, I have fixed the audio problem, speaking of being imperfect. My goal is to come back and start doing a video every week. If there's a topic that you're really interested in and you'd like to hear more about it, please let me know in the comments below. And if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Chris. My name is Chris Gearing. I am a parent educator and coach. I help, loving parents figure out how to make this gentle parenting stuff work. I've been doing this for a pretty long time. I've been working with families about 30 years. I have a master's degree in special education. I have specialized training in early intervention. I've worked with some pretty cool, amazing, world-renowned experts, actually, in the field of parenting. I've written several books that you can see behind me. There they are. I've got another one coming out. It's actually a journal. It's more of a tool to kind of help you when it comes to your parenting practices. And again, none of this is going to encourage you to be perfect. All of this basically works together to give you a framework to understand your kids' behavior and your own behavior and maybe the behavior of your spouse and friends along the way. So if something has come up and you really want me to talk about it, let me know. And, come check out my website. If you have any questions, hot burning parenting topics, I'd love to hear from you. So that's it for today. I'm not super great at video editing, so we'll see. We'll see if that part goes into the video. Not if I can figure out how to take it out. I'll repair the video. Okay, that's all for now. I look forward to talking to you again later. Bye.